Hello, I'm Ryan Macasero. Welcome to Rappler's #Balikbayan. With us today is singer and songwriter Jeremy Manongdo, better known as Passion. Passion is a Filipino-American from San Francisco, California, who's been making waves in the online music world since the early 2000s. Known for his viral hits Lemonade and Already in Love, Passion has come out with a full-length album called For More Than a Feeling. Welcome, Passion.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us at Rappler.
Yeah, good to be here.
It's not your first time in Manila, so how is it coming back here?
It's a different experience. My first time in Manila was in 2007 when I went with some family, and then it was last year with the Bayani Tour, which was a collaboration with the Department of Philippine Tourism and Gawad Kalinga. So it's a whole different experience now. It's like a focused thing, you know. It's about my show, and it's a new experience. So
yeah, we're just talking about earlier how your music has gotten so big online, even without a record label or without big endorsements. But you've had over 235 million views on your YouTube channel.
235,000 subscribers.
235,000 subscribers.
Over 35 million views. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's cool. I know it's confusing. So.
And it started with this one song that in high school that I remember when I was growing up in California, Lemonade.
Yep.
It was funny because when I was in high school, me and my buddies would just sit around. We'd listen to this song that you uploaded on the site called SoundClick.
Yep.
That most people probably don't remember.
No.
That was long before YouTube, long before even Facebook. Right.
Even before Music MySpace.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
and we'd start playing the chords, and the girls would just stand around. We'd come up to them, and can we actually get a sample of Lemonade?
Sure. Yeah.
And can you talk about what inspired you to write that song?
Lemonade was a song that I wrote when I was around 16, 17 years old. I was a sophomore or junior in high school, and I just started learning how to play the guitar. And R&B has always been something that I love doing, so of course I gravitated towards learning R&B chords, jazz chords kind of thing. And it was really hot, and it's rare for it to be hot in San Francisco. Very hot. I went over to my friend's house and I asked if he had anything to drink, so he gave me this really tall glass of lemonade, and I remember taking this and I gulped it from top to bottom, and I said, that's exactly what I need. And of course, as somebody that was a beginning songwriter, I started thinking about ways. I said, sometimes the people we have in our life, whether that's our girlfriend or a boyfriend, a husband, a wife, a friend, a family, we find them to be exactly what we need at times, just like that glass of lemonade. So I wrote a song based off a very simple thing it's a glass of lemonade that I had, and little did I know that it was going to be out anywhere past my house. It went viral on the internet, and since then it's kind of what kick-started my whole career until now.
And you just recorded that in your house, right?
I actually I was invited to something called Spinatics Online Radio.
Right.
And there's this video that was out. It's a really dark room, and it's just me with my hat, and it's a shadow. And this is before YouTube. This is like years before YouTube. So there was no viral videos yet. But that video went viral. People started taking the code and like putting it on their blog sites and like Zanga and stuff, and their pages and stuff, and that's kind of what started my whole thing. And I started doing covers, and yeah, that's kind of the beginning of it.
All right, can we hear it?
Sure. Okay. 2, 3, 4. She's my sunshine in the rain. She's my Tylenol and I'm in pain, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. Like a tall glass of lemonade when it's burning hot on summer days. She's exactly what I need. She's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She She takes care of me, baby. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. Verse 2. She's my smile when I'm feeling blue. She's my good night's sleep when the day is through, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. She's kinda like this. Kinda like the feeling after your first kiss, except that every day she makes me feel like this. She's exactly what I need. Oh yeah, she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby, and she helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful, so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. Said she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. 'Cause she's exactly what. She's exactly what. She's exactly what I need.
Wow. That brought back high school memories right there.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people smiling here in the newsroom. I wanted to ask you, how did the name Passion come up?
Okay, so when I started doing music, so I have one of those names that in America people do not know how to pronounce. It's Manongdo, right? Now, but I mean, it's easily to see it for us, as Filipinos. But I would be called Jeremy Mango growing up in school. My PE teacher would say Jeremy Mongalongalongalongo. He always said it that way. So I figured, getting into music, I said, how am I going to get away from that? Nobody's going to know how to say my name. I don't want to just be called Jeremy, So I thought of a word that really described the way I felt about music, the way I felt about people, about family, about God. And I knew that passion was just the word that explained it. And although it carries so much meaning, I just took a risk with it. I just said, hey, I'm Passion, and I'm from San Francisco, California, and it just stuck. So people always knew it as Passion's Lemonade, and years later I changed it to Jeremy Passion, just because I think I was 25 when I said, I don't want to be called Passion as an alias. I'm 25 years old. It's been 9 years, since I started calling Jeremy or Passion. So I added my first name and it became Jeremy Passion. So.
How long has it been since you started uploading music onto your onto the internet?
It's been 9 years. Oh, no. Sorry. It's been about 7 years,
7 years.
7 years, yeah.
And did you ever expect it to reach so many people worldwide?
No, I didn't expect. And since the beginning, it was never. How people would say, "Oh, it's always been a dream of mine since I was a kid to be a star or to be this and that." It wasn't my case. For me, I always loved music, but it was always a personal thing for me. So I taught myself how to play piano when I was 4. And I was that kid that would skip going to hang out with my friends just so I could be by myself in my headphones learning a song on the piano, And so growing up, music has always been a personal thing for me. And in hearing it at church and just knowing music, I just loved music. It was my thing. And so when I started writing songs and when it actually went out and people heard it outside of my family and community, it didn't make sense. Like, why were people listening to me on the East Coast? Why are people listening to me in another country? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then I realized, so then you kind of realize the power of the internet by then, and you're like, whoa, the world is crazy. You know, people can watch you from another part of the country, you know, or another part. And so no, to answer your question, I didn't expect anything like this to happen to me. So.
Well, what do you think it is that makes music go viral, or you know, makes it get so big without that, you know, the traditional record company support or going through a talent show? Is there something special about it, or it's just luck?
I don't think there's a formula to capture somebody's attention. Of course, I think the labels have, there is a formula in the labels. So the labels will say, you have to have a catchy song. It has to have these chords in it because that's what people sing to. You have to look a certain way, you know, you have to have sex appeal, you have to have, you know what I mean? That's the way they reach out to people. But I think the internet has made it so that it's not about that per se anymore, you know, it's really about people finding who they really enjoy. So I think in my case, my fan base, aside from doing covers, I think my fan base consists of people that are really looking for something deeper in music. So I feel like they've seen and noticed that I'm just not singing. You know, I do have a message in my music. I do like to share about, you know, my heart, about my family, about faith, about things that I've been through in relationships, and they realize they have somebody they can connect to. So it's not like I have, like, you know, everybody listens to me. It's a very niche following. The people that listen to me are the people that found me. Music was shared, you know, to them, and it's a very organic experience for me, you know. And I'm happy. You know, I don't see myself more or less successful than anybody else. I'm just happy, you know. And I think that's what makes me successful for me. Is my definition is just to be happy with doing it.
So YouTube star or mainstream, you wouldn't have it any other way, basically?
No, it's just me. So yeah.
How would you describe your music?
I would say it is real. It's honest. It's acoustic. It's soulful, and it's real. I mean, it's me. It's my story. So yeah, I'd say it's just very, very honest and organic. Yeah.
So I think it's time. Can you give us another song that's real for you?
Okay, so right now I'm you know, I have a girlfriend right now, and she's really impacted my life, especially as an adult. You know, and you know, it's crazy for me to feel so confident in somebody. I wrote a song called Suddenly, and Suddenly was written about, because you know, before I met her, I got out of a really serious relationship. I carried a lot of baggage. I had a lot of scars emotionally, you know, and it wasn't easy for me to open up to her. But then I realized that she had the same scars as me. She had the same problems, same pains, you know, and I realized that she was going to be the one that was going to take me away from the fear that I had inside. So Suddenly is about meeting somebody that you didn't expect to meet, and what you consider as wrong timing in your life is actually perfect timing. So
you actually have a music video for this, right?
There's a music video on YouTube, yeah, and yeah, it's check it out, Passion SF, you know. So, and this is a different style, you know. I do a lot of different kind of music. I'm not just R&B, so yeah. I watched the sunset in her eyes. I never was too good with goodbyes, but you're honestly a better view. You spoke the words, you sounded like a foreign language, while my heart brought so much baggage. I thought she'd only limit to. Ooh, we share the same scars, and oh, and ooh, we have the same heart. Oh, you came into my life suddenly, help me steer this boat away from fear. Now I see we're exactly where we should be. You got a way of motivating me again to take chances. somewhere between sublime and out of my mind, my heart dances. And it's not hard for you to see I put up guards, 'cause you've played the hand too. And though we live like night and day, I can't help but feel you're me and I am so you. Ooh, we share the same scars. And though we knew we have the same heart. Oh, you came into my life suddenly. Help me steer this boat away from fear. Now I see. Oh, you came into my life suddenly. Help me steer this boat away from fear. Now I see we're exactly where we should. La da 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 da. Oh, la da 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 da. Oh, la da 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 da. Oh, la da 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 da. Now I see we're exactly where we should be. We're exactly where we should be. We're exactly where we should.
Wow, thank you for that.
Yeah, welcome.
So who are some of the artists that that influence you?
Growing up, well, it's added, you know, throughout the years. Growing up, one of the biggest influences was Stevie Wonder. Being that I played piano first before anything, even before singing and everything. So I've always loved this style. Stevie Wonder, James Taylor is one of my biggest inspirations because as a folk, you know, I love the folk sound. And it's my parents, they brought me up in that kind of music. And then growing up, I listened to Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, Jamie Foxx, John Legend, Robin Thicke, Justin Timberlake. They've all influenced me in a really big way musically. So I'd say those are kind of my top inspirations of vocally, you know, as an artist. Yeah.
So who's like your top or your favorite artist that you like to cover?
That I like to cover. You know, Neo was one of those in the beginning, 2005, 2006, when I was got more into playing guitar. Neo was one of them, and I have a similar tone to like Neo, like vocally wise, but I'd say Neo and then Brian McKnight would be, yeah.
So let's talk about the full-length album that you put out in 2011. So you didn't go about this album the traditional way, did you?
No, I didn't. I went on this website called Kickstarter, and Kickstarter allows your fan base to be your label. And when I mean that, they fully fund your album. So originally I asked for $10,000, and $10,000 was going to take care of production costs. It was going to take care of distributing the albums and the CDs that they were going to receive, and, you know, just all the back end stuff. I ended up with 11 days to go. I ended up with $20,648, which was like way beyond what I could have ever imagined. I didn't expect that. I didn't even know if I was going to even get 10,000, to be honest with you. And it went 20,000, and I got to do a lot more. You know, I got to do a tour afterwards in Europe, and just to do a lot more things and make it more professional. You know, take it to the masters and all that kind of stuff. So that album did well, but I also did it's like a double release. It was For More Than a Feeling, and then the Pixelated EP, which is all about long distance relationships, and both those will be sold at the show tomorrow. You know, so.
What was your creative process behind coming up with the songs for those albums?
Okay, you know how most people would like sit down and write a bunch of songs and then pick 11 or 12 songs? I've been doing music for a long time, and I've written songs throughout my career that people have really grown to enjoy. So the album was more of a representation of my career as a whole, so my life as a whole. So instead of me just writing songs for the album and songs that might possibly not mean anything to me, I compiled songs throughout the years that was never recorded on track, and it was made a studio version, you know, like Lemonade was on it,
yeah.
you know, for example, and that was a ukulele version that was on the album. And then Greater Is He, which is this Christian song that I wrote back when I was 18 years old on the piano, and that was revived into a whole full band experience, you know, so I worked with Jesse Barrera and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a storybook of my life, you know. So I talked, and I also wrote songs for the album, like Trace,
yeah.
This Ain't the Way, which was a song I wrote with Tori Kelly, and Undefined, and a few other songs were made just for the album. So yeah.
Can we have one song that your favorite song from the album?
Oh, well, you know, they kind of all mean something to me differently. They're not really all my favorites. I don't really listen to my album, you know, per se, but you know, they all mean something to me. I do want to share a little bit about my mom.
Okay.
So you know, there's a song that I wrote called 32, and my mom, I don't know if I grew up basically, I'm a middle child. My older brother's name is Josh, and my younger brother's name is David. And if you know my little brother was born healthy, but then when he was like 6 months old, he got sick, and he had meningitis, so he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, and he can't hear. So growing up, I've always taken care of my little brother David, who's you know, disabled. And to me, as a brother, it already hurts, but I think about it like as a mother, how does she feel, right? But she's so strong, like, you know, she works, she takes care of us, she loves my little brother, and then I think to myself, like, she's like a superwoman. That's how I kind of see her, you know? So I wrote this song called 32 because her birthday just passed in February. She turned 62, you know what I mean? But to me, she's always beautiful, young, you know, to me, and she's who I call like my superwoman, and she's always prayed for me before I would leave for shows. She wouldn't let me go after the hug until she got done praying. I would hear her amen, you know what I mean? And I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go, you know? So she means a lot to me personally, you know, and it's a song that I wrote dedicated to her and just any praying mother out there that cares for their children, you know, the way that she does. She's amazing. So yeah, I want to share that song.
Let's hear it.
Sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They say a man loves his woman the way he loves his mama. It's true. So I wrote this song to thank you for teaching me to love her like I do. I know you haven't seen me lately, and the hotel room ain't quite like being home. No place like home, but I know you pray for me daily, so the Lord has never left me alone. Honestly, I don't know how you do it. You are the bomb.com, and if they ask if that's superwoman, I just reply and say, no, that's my mom. I just want to tell you why we're here together. Thank you for raising me, yeah. And when friendships have faded, life gets complicated, I still got my family. Oh, mama, thank you for loving me. Listen, see, my mom's a beautiful woman. I swear she only looks like 32. And she says her boys are good looking, and there's nothing like a home cooking. Yeah, it's true, shut up. Honestly, I don't know how you do it. You are the bomb.com, and if they ask if that's superwoman, I just reply and say, no, that's my mom. Hey, I just wanna tell you why we're here together. Thank you for raising me, yeah. And when friendships have faded, life gets complicated, I still got my family. Oh mama, thank you for loving me. Though I might not always see when you prayed for me, each day for me, I know that God, He's on our side. He keeps us alive, yeah. You support me, you believed in me. You're a superhero to our family. To the rescue, put on your cape and fly. Oh mama, I just wanna tell you why we're here together. Thank you for raising me, yeah. And when friendships have faded, life gets complicated, I still got my family. Oh mama, hey. Oh mama, la da 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 da. Oh mama, thank you for loving me.
Wow.
Yeah.
They felt that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that on your YouTube channel. You've worked with a lot of other YouTube artists, a lot of Filipino Americans. So what is it like collaborating with other Filipino Americans like yourself who put their music out on YouTube and other social media websites?
Well, for one, these guys are like some of my best friends, and when I say that, it's because, you know, for many years I've pretty much grown to like share the stage with them, but also share life with them. You know, we hang out outside of music, outside of social media. We're hanging out. You know, we're eating together. We're laughing. We're joking. We go to Disneyland together. You know, so it's like these guys are friends first before actual music mates. You know. But I think it's amazing because I feel like, especially in California, the Filipinos in California have, it's almost like we've devised our own community of artists. And when I say that, I mean, it's different because, you know, it's not a competition. Like I don't feel like I'm competing against any other Filipino out there that's doing, you know, music too. I feel like we support each other 200%. So like, you know, I'll go to SoCal just to see my boy AJ perform.
AJ Raphael.
Yeah, AJ Raphael, amazing artist, songwriter. He's amazing. You know, or he'll come watch me. You know, just because he's my friend. You know. Or let me stay at his house, you know, and I think that's just cool. Like we're just friends. So I think that we understand that music it's stronger when we're together, as opposed to just saying, oh, I'm going to be the only one representing Filipinos in America, or I'm going to be the only one doing this, you know, like
Well, you all do so great with their YouTube views. I mean, they also have millions on their channels as well.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, they're a lot of them they're reaching out to like a lot of people, you know, like AJ has a amazing huge fan base, you know, and everybody's doing good in their own right, you know, so I think there's no point in being enemies or saying, oh, you know, you're taking away my crowd, or we're sharing. Everybody, why not? You know, we're independent artists. We need to be strong we need to support each other, because we don't have a label. We don't have people saying, you know, telling us things, and it's better that we just are together.
You came here with some of them last year, right? With, Who did you come here with?
A lot of different people, but in my circle of music, it's AJ Raphael and Joseph Vincent, and there's a girl named Gabby Borromeo from Seattle, New York now. But
and this was for the Bayani tour for Gawad Kalinga.
Yep.
How was that? Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
It was good, man. It was good. I learned a lot. I think if I didn't really understand a lot of, you know, culturally, you know, about being Filipino, I definitely learned it there. And what better way than to actually be in the Philippines instead of learning it from a book at school, you know? So
definitely.
Also, we got to go to the Enchanted Farm with the Gawad Kalinga, and, you know, I think that really showed that there's hope for humanity. You know, there's people building houses for people that are less fortunate, and there's something going on, you know. And I think it's a worldwide effort. It's not just in the Philippines, you know. Everybody's kind of contributing and helping out with each other. So, it was a great experience. I definitely left feeling inspired, and I felt very empowered, and I felt very proud to be Filipino. Like, if I didn't understand what being proud of being Filipino meant before, I understood last year. Now,
I understand you also traveled to other countries to do service work for. I think you've been to Africa.
Right. Yeah.
What inspires you to do that?
I think, you know, I think I've always had a like a heart for service. You know, like I think just growing up, being around my little brother, you know, who always needed help, I realized there's people that need, you know, I mean, if you have the ability to help somebody, why not? And I feel like there's a lot of artists that focus a lot on their exposure as a person, that there's not a lot of stuff. Like, you know, you have a lot of power. I don't think singers or artists or people in the spotlight realize how much power they have. You can say one word and the internet listens.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking about the world, you know? So why not take what you have, the talents that you have, the fan base and the following that you have, why not use that towards really making a difference, you know? Actually, my first trip was in Ghana, 2007, and I went to West Africa and Ghana, and I helped out over there. And then 2 years later, I really felt, so I posted this video about my trip in Ghana. I wrote a song called Listen, which is about my experience being at a school for the deaf and blind, you know, because having a deaf brother who can't hear and walk, it meant something to me when I went to the one in Ghana. I put out this video, and then I started getting comments from a lot of people saying, oh, like, I wish I could do something like that, you know, I wish I can do something, you know, they'll be like, oh, you're such a good person, quote unquote. And then in my mind, I was like, why am I a good person? Like, I don't think that's true. I feel like if you have the heart to say, I wish I could do something like that, you're just as good as I am. Like, it's just, you don't know, you have no resource, you don't know who to or how to help. You're watching somebody help, but you're not really, you want to help, right? So that inspired the Empty Suitcase project, which is an organization that I started, and I went to Kenya, Tanzania, 2009, 2010, and I did a arch project. So I got to give a lot of the kids in the schools and orphanages art supplies, music supplies, because, you know what I mean, I think it's one thing to just survive and be given food and water, which is a necessity. Everybody needs food and water. Yeah. But there's not a lot of people that are out saying, like, giving them something to be passionate about, you know? And I'm not saying that the next Leonardo da Vinci is going to come out of Tanzania. That's not the point. The point is that you're giving kids an opportunity to love something, you know, just like we have our opportunities here. You know, you here, you're with Rappler, and you get the chance to talk to people, and you get the chance to do what you like to do. Same with me. I get the chance to go out and sing because somebody gave me a piano, somebody gave me a guitar one day. So why not? Why not give that opportunity to somebody out there? Give them hope, you know? If music did that for me, and if this does it for you, why not give some kid an opportunity to do what they love? So,
what would you say to other inspiring or aspiring musicians?
Aspiring musicians, what I would say is, honestly, is I feel like if you develop, I mean, if not doing music for yourself, if you develop any kind of exposure, you know, for doing something, I feel I want to encourage a musician to really think outside the box. You know, what is 1 million views at the end of the day if you're not using 1 million views for something that's important? You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about it, a cat falling into a toilet nowadays can get 10 million views. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's this viral video, that's what it's about. But how much of those views actually count, right? So if you're a singer, if you're an artist, if you're a dancer, if you're a painter, and you get these views for doing something creative that you really enjoy doing, like, use it to help other people, to nourish, to encourage, inspire other people.
So, like, it's not about the views, it's about what you do.
It's not about the views, no. I mean, the views, take example with my career. I mean, since the beginning, I've never done it for like the views or for anything. I just did what I love to do, and I do it, and I think people come at the end of the day if they really enjoy what you do. So for inspiring singers out there, aspiring artists, just to do what you love and try to utilize that to really change the circle around you.
And now you're here in Manila for your first full show. It's going to be at the Music Museum tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Can you give talk a little bit about what your fans can expect tomorrow?
Well, first of all, shout outs to MAS Presents, my boys from Sydney, Marco, also Click the City and Inquirer as well for being representatives and helping me out, you know, with this tour. I really couldn't have done this without you guys. So
Rappler's a sponsor as well.
And Rappler, thank you guys so much. That's right. I know that there's a company, different groups that have helped. So thank you for having me here. Really appreciate that. What can they expect tomorrow? They can expect a very eclectic show because we do have, you know, the, what do they call it, microphone mechanics, you know, which are a beatbox group. You have Naomi Tamayo, who's an excellent singer, and then you have Julianne, who's a really good friend of mine. She's also like in the soul acoustic scene. So I think at the end of the day, it's a very eclectic show, but at the end of the day, I want people to feel motivated and inspired and encouraged. So, you know, with the messages and the music and the lives that are represented within the show, I want that for people to leave, not just saying, that was very entertaining. I want people to leave feeling like they were, you know, rejuvenated somehow or inspired or feel positive, you know, or, you know, if music inspired them to do something, then they go out and learn something too, you know, so. That's what I hope, and all my concerts, really, to be honest with you, that I want people to have an experience, and I want to connect with people.
So how can we get tickets if we want to go?
Well, for one, did you have a giveaway going on with Rappler at all?
We have the information on our website,
okay,
so
cool.
They can go on to Rappler.com
cool.
and check it out. All the prices are there.
Right. Okay.
So tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Ticketworld.com.ph is where you can find, if you find Jeremy Passion, you can go check it out there, or you can do it at the door, you know, and that's basically it. Yeah, ticketworld.com.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
So this is Jeremy Passion from San Francisco. We've been talking about his music, about his career, and what inspires him. So that's all the time we have for today. Continue sending us your questions on Twitter using the hashtag #PassionForMusic. You can also tweet your questions directly to Passion. Tag him at @JeremyPassion. Thanks for joining us. This has been Ryan Macaser for #Balikbayan, and we're leaving you with one last song. Can you give us one last song to play to fade out?
Sure. Okay.
Anything you want.
Anything. Okay. Sorry. I totally didn't know it was gonna be, huh? Can it be a cover?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
This is a little bit of a cover?
Yeah, I'll do one that I do with one of my friends, Melvin.
Okay, cool.
Play. Baby, see you working hard and I let you know I'm proud and let you know I admire what you do. The more I need to reassure you, my life will be purposeless without you. If you want it, when I ask you, you inspire me to be better, you challenge me for the better. So sit back and let me pour out my love letter. Let me help you. Take off your shoes, untie your shoestrings, and try your earrings. What you wanna eat, boo? Let me feed you. Wanna run your bath water? Whatever you desire, I'll supply you. If you want it, say the word and whatever I'm not fulfilling, no other man is willing. Cause I'm a fulfill you, my body and spirit. I promise ya, keep myself up, remain that same boy you fell in love with. I keep it tight and I keep my figure right. I keep my hair fixed, keep rocking the hottest outfits. Cause it's love you need, to give it is my joy. It's catered to you, girl, yeah. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Do anything for my girl, baby, you blow me away. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, just let me cater to you. Inspired me from the heart, can't nothing tear us apart. You're all I want in a girl, I put my life in your hands. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, just let me cater to you.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you very much. Sorry about throwing you off.
It's cool. No, I didn't know. I was thrown off right now. So. Okay. Whew, sweet.